They sling the dirt, and at times at each other. It's Stremme and Stremme on Slingin Dirt, presented by Hercules Tire. Here are David and Ashley.
Welcome. It is Tuesday, and it is time for another episode of Slingin Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires. We are the Stremmes, as you just heard, and yes, we do from time to time like to sling the dirt at one another. It does get interesting.
Or dish and pans or whatever you throw at me.
What? I've never thrown a dish at you. I would have liked to hit you over the head with a frying pan once or 17 times, but hey. We have an awesome show for you today. We have joining us Rodney Sanders. We're going to catch up with a good buddy of ours. We haven't talked to him in quite a while. He hasn't been having the amazing season that he had last year.
I think he's had a good year.
Not compared to last year. Hold on.
Last year, you got to remember.
Think about what I said.
Last year, he was on his roof how many times before?
Well, that's true, too. In a late model,
okay.
yes. But on the modified side of things, he was picking up wins left and right. We're also going to talk to Terry Phillips. He picks up the U.S. MTS race at Outlaw Motor Speedway.
I'm going to call him out. We hope. I'd really like to talk to him, but last time he didn't. He stood us up, so we're going to see.
Right.
I hope so.
Well, we'll see. And last but certainly not least, we have AJ Diemel. He won the Lucas Oil at Oshkosh,
That's
Wisconsin.
Jimmy Mars' right-hand man.
Yeah, the MB guy. Pretty cool that he did it in front of his hometown.
Yes, it was very big, and he went to LaSalle and was running well, and I guess from what I had heard, that Shirley got all out of shape, and he basically got into the back of him and ended up Shirley kept going, and he had to go to the tail, but anyways, he made the show, which is a nice feat in Illinois, and backs up. He was running well from what he had done the night before. But, the big one that I think stood out to me when I look at a finish on Lucas Oil, there's two things, all right? Bloomquist and Davenport, I didn't feel they had their power that they've had. But I feel Bloomer probably looks at, there's a bunch of racing. We're going to try some stuff. At least that's what I'm thinking.
Maybe.
But you take Tim McCready.
Yeah.
Very consistent. Very consistent. You look at Don O'Neill. He's also, he was, kudos to Clint Boyer Racing. They've been working hard. I talked to Clint, even though we can't get him on the show, a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about how, they just have so much work and time they got to put into it. So, anyways, it was great shows up there, and definitely didn't disappoint.
No, for sure. And we had Chris Simpson on. Was it 2 weeks ago? He finished second to AJ. So pretty cool there. The local boys.
You know what's funny?
Whooping it up on them.
I didn't see neither race. I was talking to a friend of mine. I just seen some highlights later, but I was like, well, I seen the start, running order, and then the finish, and I go, well, there wasn't no passing. But they said AJ definitely had a really good car, run off, and was very dominant. But, it's something that says a lot about that local racing coming in and those guys being strong. Because for a long time with all the rules and all the stuff going on, all you hear about is technology and everybody talking about, these series come in, we can't compete. Well, they're showing a little difference this year.
Now. That's exactly right.
Although one guy had a little help here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah,
I seen in your notes.
You just saw my notes. Oh, good. Where are your notes?
Because
I still don't have those.
No, but
anyhow.
Talk about that.
A little drama in the world of Outlaws. We had Willie Milliken on the show a few weeks ago because he picked up the win at Fayetteville.
Yep.
Unfortunately, his tires did not meet the World of Outlaws benchmark for their tire stipulations.
Guys.
So,
listen.
Here you go.
When
Mr. Stremme
in the hell is everybody going to wake up and realize that you cannot pass? I don't want to hear nothing about people say, we washed our tires. I've done this. Oh, no, I wouldn't do it. Listen, man up and say you did it and you're done, all right? It's no different. You go do a drug test and somebody goes and fails a drug test. They're like, I took allergy medicine. BS. They know what's in these tires. They know what's going on. We hear all the time people say, it's not really additives they're putting in. They put in stuff that's already in the tire. They have benchmarks. If you don't meet them, you fail. Bottom line. And listen, Willie just won this past weekend at Dublin. He's a very talented racer, but now, I don't care what it is, he's got a mark on him.
Absolutely. You're exactly right.
He didn't win the race.
Unfortunately, he's now dubbed a cheater.
Yeah,
all the guys that don't pass tire, that ultimately, that's the first thing people think when you win races then is, did he have soaks on again?
And I love how people go, well,
and it's not just Willie.
No,
there's
it's
been
not just
several
Willie,
other
but
people that have not made benchmark with tires.
Yeah, but the thing is that, like, there's a guy up here at Friendship Speedway in a crate modified's failed twice already this year. It's like, bud, if you didn't get it the first time, you're definitely not getting it second time. But I love how there was a Twitter deal going around, Scott Bloomquist got 3 shocks. Listen, Lucas Oil is very up on their rules. Same with World Outlaws on their late models. They ended up, it looked like 3 shocks, whatever. They tore them apart, and they didn't find nothing, all right? But let's back up here. You're talking about a guy that has won how many crown races? Same with Davenport. They take away the contraption. Guess what? He still won the World Finals. He's still winning this year. It don't matter. When is people going to give these guys credit? They run well, and they're talented race car drivers. Now, again, and Willie's a talented race car driver, but maybe he wouldn't have won that night with them tires. Maybe he didn't think he was going to be able to win, and he won with them on there. It don't matter. Look at the whole thing.
It's a risk that you take. And these series are the top 2 series in late model racing. They are not going to risk their name. They're not going to jeopardize anything. So the guys that are, they say the 3 shock deal, these guys are pushing the limits. There's no doubt about it. They will find that gray area, and they will run with it until they get caught or they change rules or implement something to make the structure a little differently. But ultimately, that's what the game is about. But when you cross the line...
I just hate when people are throwing rocks in their own glass house. It don't take far. Look around, folks, and I'm sure they'll find something on your car. I mean, the thing that I will say, myself, Kenny Schrader, and Wallace always talk about this, and you take Scott Bloomquist, Josh Richards, Shane Clanton, any of these guys that are in their top series that are well-known names, and they go run like Shane ran at Sanoa here, won his dad's memorial race. He's not going to sit there and soak tires and then go run that race. They cannot lose that credibility they've built.
As a driver.
I don't care what they say. And you know what? We'll move on, but I mean, these guys are talented, but just because they do their homework and they work on their cars don't mean they're soaking tires. And that's the thing. Everybody else thinks they're cheating or doing whatever it is. People just go to work.
That's right. Well, people don't always like a winner. So
I will say this. Only thing, and again, I'm not picking on Willie totally. It sucks because he got all this notoriety, all this recognition, and you failed to test.
Yeah.
And it comes out later, but
that's big-time auto racing.
It beats how NASCAR says, hey, no matter what, when they leave, they're going to have a winner. Well, I know today we had an honest winner, which I don't remember who finished second. And most time nobody does. But I think it was Davenport, wasn't it? Or we'll look it up on a break and we'll find out. At
Oshkosh, it was Chris Simpson.
I meant at Fayetteville.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, with Willie. So who was declared the winner?
I see what you're saying.
Anyways.
Gotcha. Some more drama coming from racetracks. Unfortunately, a track worker was struck at a track in Kentucky by a gentleman who was driving a race car under the influence of alcohol.
I did read this.
Another, what are you thinking, people?
They should have went and beat that guy's ass. Like, everybody in the pit should have went and just beat him down.
I don't think it works like that. I think, again, you just need to be smarter.
Yeah. The bottom line, when you look at it, it's no different. I was talking to Dave Moody before I come on here about the All-Star race. We watched it, and the lug nut checking and all this. And he says they cannot watch with cameras on the left side. Anyways, the thing is most tracks don't have enough officials. It's hard to have it on payroll. They're trying to make odds and ends meet. Some probably need to wear vests. But this drinking or doing whatever else they do under a substance of driving, some people got to wake up here and go, hey, we don't need this. And I've been to racetracks down south here. They allow a lot of drinking in the pits, and it's amazing to me. There's not more that goes on of this. And it's a scary thing. I know that's the one thing when I race at the upper levels and we had to take drug tests and do everything, I'm all for it. There's a lot of lives at stake here.
It is, and when you're racing, it's I don't know, it's an inevitable coin that you flip with drug testing, and I think it's necessary because it is an extreme sport ultimately, and you're putting your life on the line every time you go out there. You don't need someone under the influence of something to just add to that factor, but ultimately. I don't know if you want to have a beer after the races or beers.
A few beers.
Absolutely, that's fine.
Or
as
Bloomquist, but he'll have Crown. I mean,
but if you're there to do a job, that's what you should be there to do.
It's a very
I don't know.
hard thing on the tracks. It just everybody listen. We're adults. Be responsible, But the thing is hopefully that guy, has a great recovery because that sucks because a lot of these track workers, people that work at these racetracks, do it voluntarily.
For free. Absolutely.
Yes.
They're there because they love the sport.
They look forward to it every weekend, and I mean I try to remember that. I was mad one time. I didn't get real mad, but I raised my voice.
Yeah, you did.
And I went up and told him later. I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry." You get heated battles.
But that's
and
the
stuff,
passion of our sport.
Yeah. But this guy's going to be in trouble. Hopefully he does some time. That's for sure.
It'll be interesting to follow along with for sure. But some weekend winners. Bub McCool. We need to probably have him on again sometimes.
Bub McCool. What a
the
name.
Mohawk McCool.
Yeah.
He's won 2 weeks in a row now, back to back. This weekend it was at the Deep South Speedway. A good friend of mine, Devin Fries. He's also won back to back.
Who's that?
He races at Port Royal. He came up and was talking to you at Tyler County that time, races late models. He won last weekend at Port Royal.
He had a big yellow hauler.
Yeah, and he won at Dog Hollow this weekend.
I was proud. Speaking of the Pennsylvania area, at Bedford, Mid-Atlantics had a makeup race, and this is really, really cool. They had 29 modifieds there on Friday. A year ago, they only had 9,
12.
I think, or 12. Yeah. I mean, they had a B main, they had everything, so it was really, really cool. They're doing a great job up there. There's mods coming from New York and all over, so I mean, it's neat to see the growth. Path Valley has them every week. Hagerstown, we're gonna go hit up there. I think Sealands Grove at end of July.
I don't know. You haven't created your schedule yet for me to take a look at. I'm still waiting on that.
Lernerville or Sharon.
Listen, you tell me tracks every single day. That doesn't mean we're going to them.
Well, it'll change here again.
I know. I'm well aware. Hey, you're worse than a woman sometimes. You know that? You change your mind more than I do.
I know which bathroom to go here in North Carolina. All right? I know which one to go.
And now you just take it to a whole new level.
So, listen.
Yeah, I'm listening, babe.
This whole, I was watching Twitter. And obviously we had Wing Nation on Push Start Cars here before our show. And I don't think they give late model guys enough credibility in that Pennsylvania area. You got Satterley, you got Eckert, you got there's tons of them there. So
I agree.
The thing is, we hear about Outlaws versus Posse and all this stuff. I was like, hey, that's great. Shots won. I did see Lance DeWeese won, which was
which you didn't know what
amazing.
That was all about.
I was surprised.
Amazing.
Yeah, I thought he was
third
okay.
in a row at Williams Grove.
I thought it was okay. How about Blaney was back in the car Sunday? She's mad. This is the Wing Nation girl coming out.
This is the sprint car girl coming out.
I've told you before.
I know, but you just don't even understand.
Williams Grove is very traditional. The racing's better at Port. And we'll go argue all.
And that's
Susquehanna,
just a matter of opinion, and I don't disagree with your opinion.
Susquehanna, I'd love to see some sprint car racing there. I think from what I've seen, what they've done already up there is phenomenal. But my thing is there's more in Pennsylvania than sprint cars. There's big block modifieds. There's the modifieds, not E-mods,
I agree with
not
you.
E-mods. Open modifieds are coming back, and you have late models because they got 5 late model divisions up in that area. You go to racetracks.
I don't disagree with you. You're exactly right. There is many modified classes. They need to change that, and that's where I think that the open wheel modifieds are starting to make a push through Pennsylvania, and I am as well glad to see that. But
it's not just
PA will always be
cars.
known as sprint car country.
I did hear, before we go to break real quick,
yeah.
I did hear this.
Tell me.
I'm trying to think who told me. They said that the guy that owns Burt Transmission, whatever. He had come out with a starter system for the sprint car. And they basically said, don't ever bring that back. And I'm like, I think it'd be a great idea.
I forget who it is off the top of my head right now, but right now they're trying to implement a battery-operated, I don't know, it's kind of like the Speedster deal, but it's going to be a 410 sprint car, an electric sprint car. I don't know. But anyhow, that's not important. That was for the show before us. We are going to talk to Rodney Sanders right after the break here on Slingin Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires on MRN.com.
Slingin Dirt returns in 1 minute on MRN.com.
Race fans, you know there's nothing like the power, excitement, and sounds of NASCAR. Ever wonder what it would be like to strap yourself in the seat of an authentic NASCAR race car? You can do it at the Richard Petty Driving Experience. Ride along or drive yourself at one of 15 tracks nationwide. Call 1-800-237-3889 or visit online at drivepetty.com. Richard Petty Driving Experience. It's authentic NASCAR entertainment. Call 1-800-237-3889 or visit drivepetty.com to reserve your experience.
MRN Swings Nation presented by Hercules Tire. Tuesdays at noon Eastern on MRN.com, the MRN app, and YouTube.
Hi, I'm Donnie Schatz.
I'm Shane Sturt.
I'm Brian Brown.
Steve Post and Aaron Evernham talk with the race winners and newsmakers.
Hi, I'm Dale Blaney. Hi, I'm Sammy Swindell.
Hi, I'm Paul McMahon.
Swings Nation, live Tuesdays at noon Eastern, or on demand in the MRN.com Media Center, iTunes, and YouTube.
Hi, I'm Stevie Smith, and you're listening to Wing Nation.
When the smoke settles, the entertainment never stops.
I feel like experience kind of outweighs youth.
On race weekends, your favorite NASCAR personality is an everyday superhero.
Kyle Busch driving for his life right now.
But when they leave the racetrack, they're just like everyone else.
Our lives are so much different than what people may think they are.
I'm Susie Armstrong. Join me on a daily journey as we discuss the hot topics and engaging personalities of NASCAR Nation. Ned Jarrett's World of Racing, weekdays on the Motor Racing Network.
This is Slingin Dirt on MRN.com. Now back to Ashley and David Stremme.
Hey, welcome back. We have a correction here. Brian Shirley is now stated the winner for the Fayetteville race, and Earl Pearson was second. What are you laughing for? Because we couldn't get a hold of Rodney, and I said he was washing his car. It's a Tuesday. He's still washing.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, well.
Rodney, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Rodney, David wants to know if you're washing your car because he's totally throwing you under the bus right now.
No, we did that yesterday.
Oh, God.
So you're sleeping is what you're saying.
No, I was actually working.
Oh,
He
okay.
My phone on the charger, and I was in another building. And
Well, you were on a tractor farming with Jason. That's the story.
No, not quite, but almost.
Does he get you out there in them tractors?
Oh, I've been out there about once, but that's not it.
Does he let you drive the feed truck or the grain truck or anything?
No, we're usually gone racing when all that happens.
Gosh, I like farming. I find it very intriguing. And folks, we're talking about Rodney's, I call him best friend, or it's his girlfriend's dad, Jason Crone, who has a pretty large farm up there, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he farms about 3,000 acres up here.
Jesus Christ, that's a lot. That's a lot.
Is there any animals? Do you have cattle or?
Samantha has a dog.
Oh my! Well, I knew that. Oh my God! This conversation has totally gotten off track, and it is all because of
what
you,
kind of
David.
Animals they got?
Rodney, I'm so sorry right now.
What do you mean, like just?
Like,
wildlife
is there
around
cattle? Do they have pigs, sheep?
No, they don't have any of that. They
Okay.
used to have pigs, I think, back in 2 years ago, but that was before I came around. So
Wait a minute. That wasn't just 2 years ago.
He said a few years ago.
Okay,
oh
okay,
my
okay.
God,
okay, maybe
David.
like 10.
10, yes. Let's get that right.
Or longer, maybe.
10.
I'm not sure.
I got so anyways, your season, you've been late model racing, done very good. I feel you've done awesome. The modifieds, you've been there. You maybe not have as many wins, but the USMTS circuit has, I'm not saying last year was easy, but it's like, man, they have some really, really good competition this year.
Yeah, it just seems like it's more spread out. I mean, Hughes has kind of been on a roll here the last few weeks. I mean, he's always tough, but he's been pretty good the last couple weeks. And, yeah, there's just been more guys win. It just seems like it's real spread out this year, more than it's been in the last couple.
I would definitely say that Hughes is the Rodney Sanders of 2016. Rodney, I think you were running the streak that Hughes was running last year. Is it hard to – I don't want to say that your season's been bad because it's not. It's just not what you had last year. Is it hard pill to swallow knowing the season you had last year and now this year's not going as well? I mean, every driver goes through it, but how do you handle it?
I mean, it's I'd say a little bit, but we're still, way early in the year, and I feel like we've not had a lot of rainouts, and we haven't really got to race, a whole lot. We're back and forth between the mod and the late model, and Yeah, I mean, we've definitely haven't won as much as what we've liked, but I mean, I think we've still won 4 USMTS races so far, and then top 3 or 4 about every other time it seems like. But yeah, we definitely want to, pick it up a little bit. We're trying. Just it's kind of hard when you don't get to race that much, and hopefully the weather will cooperate here in the next few months, and we'll get some racing in.
I seen it was, I think, 2 weeks ago. It was you, Gustin. Phillips ended up winning in the late models. You were at was it
Longdale?
Longdale. Great racing. Do you feel running that late model has helped you in the mod, or the mod helped the late model?
I think running. I think it's definitely easier going from the mod to the late model as far as driving. But I really think running the late model helps going back to the mod. It seems like you can pick up a few more things, and when you get back in the mod, it just feels a lot slower. It seems like you have a lot more time to do stuff. It's just kind of, some of the changes, you can work back and forth on, but some of them don't really, offset that much. So it's definitely a learning curve. It's kind of hard when you run, one weekend and then run the other one the next weekend, and that definitely makes it tough. But we've had pretty good cars every time we've been out in both classes, so I can't really complain about too much.
So I want to ask Rodney, because G Unit has been with you, I'm going to say at least 5 years. Has he been with you?
He started in, the very end of 2011. So, yeah, you could say 5 years.
And in Florida, Unit come over, we had a few beers, when it was raining and hanging out, and he had this new guy with him. And I forget his nickname, but how's he been working out?
Well, he was working out pretty good, but he already missed home and had to go back home.
Oh, he had to go back to Mama.
Yep, he has a girlfriend, and
that gets worse.
Yeah, so he wanted to stick around home.
Nothing wrong with that, because the schedule you guys running all over and doing stuff. That's why I asked, because it takes a true hard, dedicated people to do it. And so, do you have a new guy with you?
Well, he was supposed to start this weekend at the show me, but the weather don't look good, so I don't know if we're even going to go down there or not. But yeah, we have a new guy that's going to start here in the next week or so from Kansas City area to help throughout the summer, and it just kind of makes it just help out Unit and I. We've done it for the last 5 years, just us two. But when we start running the late model more and running, some nights we'll run them both. We don't do that a whole lot, but it just makes it a lot easier on both of us when we have an extra guy.
How hard is that when, you and Unit have a relationship, a bond, and you've been together so many years now, you can pretty much finish each other's sentences, I would say, or know what the other one is about to do. How hard is it when you bring an outsider in to get them to gel with everything that you're doing?
It just kind of takes time, I guess, just figuring out, how we all get along and everything like that. But for the most part, Unit and I both are pretty easygoing. We don't hardly get mad that often, so we can kind of deal with whatever. It's just going to take a little bit of time and learning the ropes and how we do things, because everybody does stuff different. So that's just the biggest thing. But I don't think it'll be too bad here after a couple weeks after we get going.
Yeah, they with the schedule coming up and running a late model, and as well as you are doing. You going to go to the Dream here in a few weeks?
Well, that was the plan, but USMTS rained out last weekend, and they rescheduled some races that weekend, and we're kind of running that central region to get qualified for the hunt, and they rescheduled on top of that. But I guess we'll just see how it's going. If we end up going to show me we run well, then we might just go ahead and go and not worry about the USMTS. We've just kind of been doing kind of what we want to do, and not really get wrapped up in points or anything like that. Just kind of go where we want to go and where we haven't been sometimes, and where we feel like we can make the most money.
Good. We'll see you at Fairbury in the fall then.
I don't even really know when that is. I haven't looked that far into
Make it Labor Day. There's a 10,000 win Labor Day weekend, and then the fall brawl is it's before
fall.
that. Yeah, August, something like that. So check it out on the internet, and we'll see you there.
Okay.
All right?
All right. We'll look at it and see.
Good. Send Samantha our best.
Okay.
And in Unit, and we got to take a break here, so we'll have you back on.
Okay.
Another
Sounds
time.
good.
Oh, my
Sounds
goodness.
Good luck, bud.
We appreciate
All
you,
right,
Rodney.
thanks.
Have a good one.
They're yelling in my ear. We got to take a break, so
I
we got
know,
to go.
but you're amazing how
We
you
got to go.
just
Hercules
close
tire
this.
break
So
coming up.
there you have it, folks. You're listening to Slingin Dirt on MRN.com.
Slingin Dirt returns in 1 minute on MRN.com.
O'Reilly. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts during Clean Car Month for great deals on everything you need to keep your car looking new, like Black Magic Diamond Tire Wet free after mail-in rebate. Leave your tires looking better than ever with Black Magic Diamond Tire Wet free after mail-in rebate during Clean Car Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Looking for a great spot for an affordable beach vacation, a family getaway, or the perfect romantic retreat, but just can't find the time? Let the Plaza Resort and Spa help. A vacation on the world's most famous beach is sure to help you reconnect with the ones you love. You will discover the grand tradition of hospitality and service at this sparkling Daytona Beach Hotel, located directly on the beach. A Plaza Resort and Spa weekend escape is the ultimate in relaxation, with world-class massages, facials, body wraps, and more at the Plaza's very own Ocean Waters Spa. She'll love you for giving her such a fantastic weekend getaway. The Plaza Resort and Spa, located at 600 North Atlantic Avenue in Daytona Beach, one of the area's premier hotels and the perfect choice for any type of getaway. Book online at plazaresortandspa.com or call 1-855-DB-PLAZA. That's 1-855-327-5292.
This is Slingin Dirt on MRN.com. Now back to Ashley and David Stremme.
Welcome back to Slingin Dirt. We're having a great time here this Tuesday afternoon. The next guest joining us, he is your USMTS winner at Outlaw Motor Speedway. It is Terry Phillips. Welcome to the show, Terry.
Thank you.
Hey, we're so glad you're on the phone. The last time you stood us up, and we were hoping that we would get to talk to you.
Well, I can barely hear you now. It's pouring here.
Oh, no.
My old metal building here is a little loud, so I'll do my best here.
Well, they got it. I know they're talking about a lot of rain there in the Midwest, but a couple weeks ago, I just had Rodney on the phone, Sanders, and I was talking about that race at Longdale. It was phenomenal to watch. It was up and down and all around. And talk a little bit about that, how your car was with running the late model.
I've never been there before. Pretty nice place. To be honest, I didn't know all that action was going on until I watched the watched the replay, and I needed to pick it up. Looked like to me, but it worked out good for us. And I think Rodney got a run on me there one time and surprised me. But the car was pretty decent for not ever being there. So good little run for us.
Yeah,
love it. Well, you were recently inducted into your Springfield Area Sports Hall of Fame. How cool is that? And talk a little bit about what all that involved for you.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I didn't think a lot about it until I went to the deal and realized how big a deal it was. My dad got put in, I guess, 20 years to the day before me. So,
oh, cool.
Wow.
It's pretty neat seeing, people at different sports or whatever, professional baseball player got put in and a basketball player and different things. So, for our area, it's a pretty neat deal. We got a lot of big time sports people in our area, I guess. So it's nice to put racing in there and then to mix it with them,
Well,
that's really neat.
I'm hoping tomorrow they're going to announce the nominees for the Hall of Fame and the NASCAR Hall of Fame, right?
Yeah. My dad, he's hopefully get in that thing. There's a lot of people voting for him and stuff.
Man, I hope so too. Because what better? I mean, for the Midwest region and when you think of a racer and everybody, Kenny Wallace and I were talking about it. I mean, your dad he was so tough there and won so many races, and I don't think he got recognized enough for what he accomplished in that area.
I don't know how that works or whatever. It seems I went to a couple NASCAR races. I don't go to a lot of pavement races, but I was hanging out with Schrader and James Ince and Kenny there, and everybody they introduced me to and asked me if I was Larry's son, so that was really neat. I didn't realize
the racers know him. You know, it's just getting recognized for what he done. And what's really funny about this is, you know, he's getting recognized for his pavement racing as much as he won, but pretty sure he won more dirt races than he did asphalt. So I have no idea how many races he's won. He never kept track of anything like that. He just worried about the next weekend. So
yeah,
that's kind of guy he was.
I love that. That's really, really awesome. How was it? I mean, growing up and watching him, did you understand what your dad really was?
Yeah. I mean, I wasn't oblivious to it because he worked me to the bone.
Well, I think it's paid off very well for you.
Well, yeah, you know, just like I said in my speech there for the Springfield Hall of Fame deal, I said, you know, and he was just a rough character, I guess you'd call him, and just old school, and we worked just all the time, but it's funny, the older I get, the smarter he was, you know. So it seems to have worked out. At least get some good work ethic out of it anyway.
Yeah. You know, it's funny because you know, I've watched you race a lot and do things, and you know, not that you're in the shadows of your dad, because you have set and done a lot of things, you know, accomplished a lot that a lot of racers haven't. And you look at, you've won in a modified, you won in a late model, you've done a lot of stuff. Have you ever really looked at doing the asphalt stuff, or you just said, I'm just going to do all the dirt stuff?
Well, you know, I've run like 4 pavement races, and I just, you know, coming up, you know, we was running the dirt and got deals and sponsors and things like that for the dirt, and then, you know, he got dismissed from a few races for being a little ornery, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They put me in the car, and I think back then it was like an Art Go race or something, you know. It was the big boys, and he put me in his old backup car, which was a dirt car we made into a pavement car. It wasn't real good, and I run like 4th in my first race, and then I got in his left-hander, which felt like a go-kart compared to a sled of some sort, but run 3rd in the next one, and you know, you know, for what little I done, we had some pretty good success. It just, in our area, it just didn't pay anything, you know, is the bottom line. It didn't pay like the dirt did, so we just always, you know, stayed on the dirt side of things.
That's not anymore. Every day goes by, I don't blame you, because I'm on my last asphalt car I have, and I think I have it sold because it's like, I tell my asphalt buddies, I go, listen, that dirt is very demanding, but I think the driver can do a lot more than say on the asphalt side. Asphalt's so much set up, and don't get me wrong, you still got to drive them, but the dirt, it's very, very finicky at what a driver can do, and it separates them. Would you not agree? Or
yeah, I would. I mean, of course, I'm a dirt guy, so I'm sure everybody will get an argument out of this, but you know, I run the pavement. What little I did, I couldn't figure out how they spin them out and stuff. I thought they was really easy to drive after driving a dirt car. I'm used to hanging it out, and I think that's why you see so many good cup racers and that come out of the dirt. You know, they can run it on the ragged edge all the time. And best quote I ever heard, I heard Schrader telling somebody, they asked him the difference. He said, well, in pavement you go in the corner and you got, you know, what you're thinking of is what line am I going to run?
Mm-hmm.
Said on the dirt, he said, you get about the flag stand, you got about 10 things you need to decide before you get to the corner.
Yeah.
So there's quite a bit of difference, you know. I think a good dirt racer will make you a good asphalt racer for sure.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. With some of the things, and there's so much technology changing and doing stuff, it seems like, in the dirt world. What's some of the stuff, if you were in charge of a sanctioning body, that you go, hey, this is a direction we need to go in?
I don't know. I guess I used to be the kid around here. Now I'm the old timer, you know.
Veteran. We'll call it a veteran.
Yeah, veteran. I guess when you're 50 next month, I'm a veteran now. But I don't know. You know, it's just, you know, motor rules are not bad, just like the USMTS. They're too expensive, but it's not horrible. It could be, you know, after running late models, they're pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, because the spec head and that stuff. And then, you know, I run some little bit of IMCA drive Jordan Grabowski's car and stuff,
Yep.
and I get it. I mean, they've got a ton of cars with that crate motor. Not fun for me to drive at all. But that's just my opinion.
Yeah.
But once you because they're just so low powered. But
yeah.
But once you get involved, it's racing. You know,
Yeah.
you're racing just like you would anything else. So, but it's really almost plenty motor for the tire they have them run, and the no spoiler and all that. So, you know, it makes it competitive. So it's just, you know, it all equals out. You're just going slower, I suppose. But
yeah.
that's not a bad deal. And, you know, main deal for us probably is the tire rule. They've kind of tamed the tires down, and that's helped out a ton. But I guess they had a way to get the motors cheaper would be the next step, but I don't know how they do that like in a late model or something.
Yeah.
My dad always said the more wheels you have, the more money it costs because you got to
Yep.
cheat.
I
You know, so.
There's a lot of truth to that too, because it's something that, as you hit on, when you look across a board and tires dictate how much power you can put down,
Right,
and then you have
right.
downforce. And I'm with you on the crate has its place, but it's like I watch crate late model racing, I go, this is boring here. Big spoilers, big tires, no motor. I go, it's not any fun, but it's interesting to hear you say that, because I know you get to travel around, and you see a lot of stuff, and it's I value your opinion very greatly.
Well, I've never really watched a crate late model deal, but I can't imagine why they'd have great big spoilers and all that.
Yeah.
If anything, it'd be more like, let's say, the IMCA thing, where modified thing, where they might put a small spoiler on where they can drive them, and you know, it puts it back in the driver's hands and the chassis setup and stuff. So I don't get that, but I guess it's pretty popular in certain areas. So we don't really have it around here much, but I've got a few cars out there that run it and do pretty well. So I don't understand that. It's kind of like giving them a parachute with a Briggs and Stratton basically motor. So, but I don't know. It's probably a good direction to go. You know, to save money and get more racing. You know, but what's funny is fans are a lot smarter than they used to be. Well, I shouldn't say that. Used to be. They're just not dumb. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Like some of these promoters think. I think they know when somebody's, for better words, hauling ass and when they're not.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And I think just like the USMTS, when the modified thing, when they come to town and it's a modified place, man, they are ate up with it. You know, I mean, they really enjoy the speed that the USMTS. I mean, they're competitive. There can be 15 cars to win any, you know, at any night, and their local IMCA comes out. You know, it's not near as exciting. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, I agree with you. There's a lot of truth to that. When you fans, and I feel this gets lost in racing, and you know, the drivers they're daredevils, you know, and you got to look at it and go, wow, you see that guy, what he had done, and that's what some of that's lost a little bit. You know, we're still entertaining and doing stuff, but it's like your dad. You look at all the cars he had drove and everything he had gone through, and you're like, man, that guy's a race car driver, you know. And I'm not saying it's not all like that today, but there is some of that lost, I feel, a little bit.
Well, I agree. It's just, back in the day, not very long ago, you had to come up with your own stuff, you know, to go fast. You had to make it. Now everybody buys everything, and the cars are so late model mods. They're so forgiving. You can go in there and screw up, bend it sideways, throw it in, and you know, a guy can roll up there beside you, and that thing will catch and drive off from the guy that's trying to be smooth. You know, so it's tough. It's a lot tougher deal these days than it used to be. But my dad coming up, you know, he taught me a lot about front ends and stuff, you know, and it's really paid off in this modified division and stuff. But plus, I parked beside them Scott boys in that good-looking lethal car and learned some things this weekend. So.
Well, I got the ones have been a little hard on it, so he just pulled into the shop. We got a new one for him. So
yeah, that's what I hear.
And I know you're a diehard GRT guy, which they're fine. But you ever want something different, you make sure you get a hold of us. All right?
Yeah, there you go. I was looking at it. First time I looked at one this weekend. Looks good.
Well, thank you. It's funny because the whole reason, and I took a lot of asphalt stuff, and put it in a modified because I go, the cars I was driving, I'm like, I want the front. When I go in the corner, I want to turn the wheel. I want it to turn, and do some stuff. But when you talk about, and when I think of Terry Phillips, I think of, and don't this is a comment, I think of old school racer. He can build his car, he could do whatever he wants. And you hit on something where a lot of people think, hey, I'm just going to go buy it and I'm going to go fast. But you still have to work and put in that time and effort to get results. And I think the dirt shows that more than, say, other types of racing, wouldn't you?
Yes, I do, especially in the modified world. I mean, there's still 68 Chevelles, and we're limited in what we can do rule-wise, but you can tweak around this. I tell people I've got my modified on a rack right beside my office, and every time I go walk by to work on my late model, I look at that modified, and I still tweak around and clear things, and it's kind of my baby, so to speak, my fun and my toy, but I mean, I say that, and on the other hand, it's bad serious too, So
I was gonna say I watched that this weekend. You're pretty dang serious there.
Yeah.
Had a lot of speed.
We had a good weekend there. I mean, we actually broke a valve spring at Muskogee and got lucky to get that win. And the next night, put another motor in, and we fought it and got here. Ended up 7th from the back there, but got home and two spark plugs wasn't even firing. So I was racing a 6-cylinder all night Saturday night. So. And got up here to 7th. Fortunately, got slick, so I just pavement raced around there, kept it in the middle. So, but anyway, we got the car working good, and get a few little problems we got here. I think we got it fixed, so we get going again.
Well, the big news for this year, it seems that St. Louis is the talk, with the Nationals being there for the indoor race in the winter this year. Is there a chance that we can see you there with both a late model and a modified?
No, not unless I bring him to watch. I don't know. No, I believe I'm going to stay away from that. It's back to being that old school racer where you got to weigh things out and how much you're going to spend versus what you're going to tear up.
Yeah, exactly.
Is what I'm thinking anyway. I'm damn sure going to go and watch it.
I'll come sit
you're
right next to you.
You're not the only one. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm going to go watch that. That'll be interesting, but I told some of them they build a track around it as a little track, so I don't get how they're going to do it, but it ought to be entertaining.
We were talking to some guys the other week. I said, well, just go up to Macon, Illinois, and go test, because that's about what it is.
Yeah, I've been to Macon one time with my dad.
Yeah,
we was on some tour up through there. He got out of the truck. I remember this. I was a kid. Walked up and he said, let's just leave this thing loaded. We didn't watch that night. He didn't even want none of that years ago. So.
Well, believe it or not, that was my first ever dirt race was at Macon. So I find it pretty interesting. But we will definitely see you on the road. We got to take a break here, and we really, really appreciate you coming on, and good luck to you the rest of this season.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Love it. Love the old school.
It's guys like that
Veteran.
that I would love to sit around. I can see why Schrader goes have beers with him. It's just cool to really see what they've seen and where they've traveled and what they've been through. So.
And see the changes throughout the years.
Yeah.
But we have AJ Diemel joining us here on Slingin Dirt on MRN.com.
Slingin Dirt returns in 1 minute on MRN.com.
Whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules Tires will get you there, whether you're running on dirt or running a job. Our dependable, high-quality tires are the perfect fit for your needs. For unmatched value, selection, and warranty with industry-leading road hazard protection, there's only one choice: Hercules Tires. To learn more, visit HerculesTire.com or call 800-677-9535. Hercules Tires, right on our strength.
O'Reilly.
Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts during Clean Car Month for great deals on everything you need to keep your car looking new, like Black Magic Diamond Tire Wet, free after mail-in rebate. Leave your tires looking better than ever with Black Magic Diamond Tire Wet, free after mail-in rebate during Clean Car Month at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Better parts, better prices every day. Limit supply. See store for details.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
At Victory Junction, it's simple. We believe every child, no matter their diagnosis or disability, deserves the chance to just be a kid. So we provide a medically safe environment where children who live in a world of hospital stays and doctor's visits are free to do everything from riding horses, ziplining, swimming, fishing, and bowling, all at no cost to the camper. The experience inspires confidence, builds self-esteem, and changes the life of every child who comes here. Help us change a child's life at victoryjunction.org.
This is Slingin Dirt on MRN.com. Now back to Ashley and David Stremme.
Welcome back. We're the Stremmes, and you're listening to Slingin Dirt, presented by Hercules Tires. The biggest win of his career against the Lucas Oil Late Model Series. AJ Dima, welcome to the show, AJ.
Thank you guys for having me.
Hey, do you have a nickname?
There's numerous. I guess AJ is probably just the best one. Probably the most radio friendly.
Oh no, we just got you one.
David just came up with one for
Diemel
you.
the Demon.
There you go. That'll work too, I guess.
You led all 50 laps. There was one caution. The World of Outlaws, your biggest win.
Lucas Oil,
sorry, you're right. Your biggest win, home crowd. Yes, thank you. What was going through your mind? What was that like? Just play us back through the race.
I guess it was kind of like a perfect storm type deal. We qualified well. We put us on the front row of a heat race. We led all the laps in that. The racetrack kind of got a little bit one lane, which was to our benefit. But we had a good car all night, and we started out in the feature, got the lead right away, and kind of just maintained throughout the race. It was, like I say, it was just one of those deals. Everything kind of worked out for us, and we got the win.
Hey, you need to...
You make it sound so easy.
Yeah, you need to give yourself a little more credit because you give all the little guys a hope for when the big series come in because, I had seen, there wasn't a ton of passing, but Mike Abner, who I think he's done some work for you and stuff, he was saying, he says, no, listen, he was gone. He was out, checked out. So, the fastest car won the race, and you should be very proud of that you beat the big teams that come in for the touring race.
Oh, we are very proud. That was, like I said, it was a big deal. It was just, when some of those races can get, when the fast cars do start in the front, it kind of makes it like a sleeper, that kind of a race. But it was, like I said, everything worked out. The qualifying was the biggest deal for me. I typically don't qualify that great. Excuse me. But to get qualify good and get a heat race win and at least give yourself an opportunity to go through and start in the front couple rows because it's pretty tough, especially racing with those guys coming through the field to try to get a win starting, third, fourth, fifth row, and that is about impossible. It seems like so. Saying everything came together and it all worked out is really you got to have a good car to be there is the truth. But like I said, it all worked.
Well, and when I read that you lapped Scott Bloomquist on lap 18, that's pretty impressive, which I'm sure Scott was not having a great evening, but still, that has to be a little chip on your shoulder.
It was. He ended up getting back by me a few laps later and basically telling me for sure to get to the bottom. I was kind of thinking of it the way it was anyways. And I was having a few issues with some guys in front of him, and then the bottom kind of started to come back where it was about where you had to be. So it was pretty good when I saw him go back by because I just tucked in behind him. I said, well, he's ready for points. I'll let him move the guys out of the way and just follow him and make sure I don't screw up. So it was actually good that he got back past me and it kind of got me calmed down and went back to the bottom and just kind of finished out the race.
Let's talk about a little bit because that was a MB custom car, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So I know Jimmy and them have been working very, very hard on their late model program. Was this their first big, I guess, would say national touring win in a while?
Yeah, I guess Lucas Oil stuff from World of Outlaw. He's won a few MLRA races here and Mars races last few years, and we've been really good on our spec motor stuff as well. But as far as these here, it's probably been a year or two. But it's like I said, we've been working real hard. Going through and testing, doing a bunch of stuff, trying to get our stuff where it needs to be. And I certainly think we're on the right track. We've picked up a few things, and the cars have just been real drivable and friendly as far as on the racetrack goes. So it's just, and that means a lot. So you got to have confidence in your car, and that kind of stuff too when you're rolling out there.
Were you able to walk? Because Jimmy had some engine problems, but I seen he got celebrating Victory Lane. So Monday when you went to work, you kind of walk in with your chest poked out and been like, yeah, I get to.
That's about the opposite of what I don't really. I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, it's all cool, and that's part of the deal is doing this kind of stuff, which is is an honor as far as I'm concerned to go through and talk about this stuff, which, like you said, it's a big deal that way, but we'll just keep our head down and
keep digging.
Try to get some more.
Yeah.
I love it. You're an extremely humble man, and that's really, really cool. But you've done something, and you should be really proud of what you accomplished this weekend because, like David said earlier, it gives the little guys hope, that it's possible to come in and beat the guys that are on that touring series and travel all over the country. When you do something like that, that's pretty impressive.
It is, and it's the part that I see with those guys is they're so good everywhere they go. I had a little bit of a advantage, I guess, so to speak. I've raced there quite a bit through the years, and that certainly helps. But they're so good everywhere they go that it's just it's tough to beat them at any time. So, like you said, it's a good deal for our team, and like I said, we'll just keep digging and try to get a few more.
Does it end up changing anything, like with a little extra cash? You're going to be able to go to maybe some bigger shows or places you weren't planning on going?
We're going to kind of stick. I kind of had some stuff scheduled out. Our open program, we just kind of go to where we think we can compete good and make some money, so to speak. But we're going to do some spec motor stuff here next week that we kind of had planned out, and we got that program going pretty good as well. So we'll probably be back up at Cedar Lake for the Summer Nationals races, and then do a few here and there throughout that, the month of July, and then, back there for the USA Nationals, which, we're pretty excited to get back there for both of those races. We've been running pretty well there with our spec stuff and have had good runs there in the past with our open stuff as well.
So you run the same car when you run? You just change motors, or you got another car?
No, we've got two cars, and it's just our team is pretty small as far as our help, so it's nice to have both of them ready to go. I mean, that's normally the hardest part, to have them both ready at the same time, but it's nice to kind of not have to completely switch gears every time you go from one to the other. So we kind of schedule them out to where we want to be, and then just kind of make sure everything's ready to go.
Well, I was scrolling through your Facebook page, and I love the pictures of you and your daughter.
Are you stalking him?
Maybe, just a little bit. No.
She's
super,
good at
super
it.
Cute. Does she know what Dad does? Does she understand what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, she does. She kind of gets it. I mean, she asked me how much I won, and she said I was rich.
That's awesome.
On Saturday, so it was it's a good deal. Like I said, she's got a heck of an imagination, so she gets it. She likes to come along, and she likes the racing scene, so to speak. But no, she's your dad's biggest fan. Put it that way.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
I'm glad that she's enjoying it and having a good time.
Wants another trophy.
Yeah, she wants another trophy. That's the biggest thing. How big is the trophy? And
what's some of what real quick? What's a goal that you want to kind of achieve this year when you went into the season?
Well, every year we go up, I guess, is want to win as many races as we can. It's always been our goal to win a Lucas or a World of Outlaw race, and we've got a few more of those to go this year to do that, and just basically run as good as we certainly can at the races we're at. That USA Nationals would obviously be really good. We've run well there in the past, and just from a financial point would be great for that part. But we don't really say, well, this is what we need to do or want to do. It's just we expect to go there and run good every time we run, and our schedule kind of dictates that as well. So we just got to make sure that we do what we can when we're there.
Perfect. I like it.
Awesome. Well, AJ, we appreciate you being on the show today, and best of luck the rest of the season. We'll be watching.
I appreciate you guys, and thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Love it.
It was cool, very, very humbled. Actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
Hey, I won. And but it was cool listening to him because he had a home track advantage. He, started up front, but it don't matter. He did everything you needed to do to win the race, so it was a good deal. Yeah. And again, it shows a lot that the smaller teams can end up prevail.
That's exactly right. Well, I have one.
Go ahead.
Heck of a list of upcoming races for this weekend, and I'm going to pull a David Stremme.
Any dumpster races, as a modified's called?
We have a guy who tweeted us, James Welsh.
Yeah.
He's not, well, I mean, he is
He's from Posse.
He is. But he said it sucks to be a modified fan up in Pennsylvania because they call them dumpsters.
Well, folks, you better wake up because the dumpsters.
We're working on that.
The dumpsters are doing very, very well.
Anyhow, back to my upcoming race list.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do this in David Stremme fashion. Check your social media because someone near you is racing this weekend. That's a promise. Unless Mother Nature changes.
Well,
someone is racing. It is Memorial Day weekend.
It's the 100th Indy 500, so make sure you watch that. But there's
F1
the
race,
little
Monaco.
I know it's an asphalt race, but they got the little 500. They do have Thursday at the Indiana State Fairgrounds. They have UMP Modifieds. The Silver Crown cars are there, which is a really, really good race. But this this weekend is huge for motorsports.
Show
but
me
also,
100.
Also, don't forget what it is for all the men and women that have fought for our country and done stuff, and it's pretty big. So, but it's also a big race weekend.
Big race weekend. So unless you're living under a rock
or it's raining, because I've heard a lot of people talk about the rain.
Get your tush to the racetrack and tweet us pictures.
Yes.
We need a hashtag like Wing Nation has tweet your seat. We need like tweet your tush or something. Don't tweet your tush.
Tweet your tush.
I don't want to see your badonkadonk. Never mind.
Whatever you took this morning, do not take it as much anymore. I can tell you that. Wow.
Don't tweet your tush. Wow. So later today you can find Slingin Dirt in the Media Center on MRN.com. We appreciate you joining us today, and we'll see you next Tuesday for another episode of Slingin Dirt.
This has been Slingin Dirt with Ashley and David Stremme. Listen every Tuesday at 11 Eastern on MRN.com for more news, interviews, and opinion from dirt tracks all over America. Slingin Dirt is a production of the Motor Racing Network. All rights reserved.